Right now, more than 1.5 million human embryos are under storage in the U.S., including right here in Knoxville. Tonight, 10 News anchor Heather Wallaga tells us how the National Embryo Donation Center is helping families all over the world on their path to parenthood.
This is the NEDC. It is the only place like it in the country, and it's just down the road. Every year, about 150 patients travel to Knoxville to undergo this unique form of adoption, including a Clinton family who was desperate to have children of their own and ended up breaking records. On most days, a heavenly tune fills the Gibson family home. 6-year-old Emma has been learning to play the piano.
I feel like God had prepared our hearts, even though it didn't feel like it.
The sound is music to her mother's ears after Tina and her husband Ben struggled for years to have children of their own, and traditional adoption wasn't panning out.
We already knew that we were going to deal with infertility and that it was going to be hard. But you can't be prepared for that until you get to the point where you really want a kid.
Their heartache led them to the National Embryo Donation Center in Knoxville, the largest program of its kind in the country. Director Dr. Jeffrey Keenan says embryo adoption offers an alternative to couples hoping for a family.
Maybe they've tried everything else and nothing has worked, and embryo adoption can still give them an excellent option for getting pregnant.
NEDC serves nearly 150 embryo adoption patients each year. Donated embryos are stored in liquid nitrogen. Couples who want to adopt must go through a home study. Once they're approved, embryo transfers can happen in as little as 6 months. Since 2003, NEDC has received and cared for more than 2,500 sets of frozen embryos, resulting in more live births than anywhere in the world. How long can an embryo be preserved?
We don't know, but our oldest twins were cryopreserved a little more than 30 years before they were born.
One family gives the gift of the embryo and another family carries it to life.
When Molly was born in 2020, she became the oldest frozen embryo to ever be born at the time. She and her sister Emma are genetic siblings, both stored as frozen embryos in 1992, the year after Tina was born.
They think they're a frozen Oreo.
Yeah, that's what Emma said forever. She was like, I'm a frozen Oreo.
Their births got a flood of international media attention, from magazine articles to television news coverage.
We didn't think it was going to go that big.
But for the Gibsons, it was an achievement they cherished quietly, taking time to enjoy life as a new family of 4.
It was just so neat to see when we chose embryo adoption, how everything worked out so beautifully. You know, we never dreamed we would get this, and this is more than we could have asked for, you know?
And that was 10 News Today anchor Heather Wallaga reporting. Anyone can apply to be a donor. We do have a link with everything you need to know if you are interested in learning more about the National Embryo Donation Center, including more about the adoption process, all online right now at WBIR.com.